Cheryl.
Hi there. How are you guys? Excited to be here today, Paul.
I am too, Cheryl. We got a great show planned for today. Why the keto diet is the perfect diet for you. So a lot of people are like, wow, that's a strange title because I've been on the keto or I heard keto and I heard it wasn't good or I tried it and it didn't work. So Cheryl and I are here today to clear up the top misconceptions about the keto diet and try to point out real quickly to you why this truly is the perfect diet for you to follow. So Cheryl, one of the first things I hear out there a lot is that the keto diet is absolutely the worst diet out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I hear that too, Paul. And I always ask the question, well, why do you think that? And hands down, it is always, oh my gosh, I don't get to eat any fruits or vegetables, right? And I'm like, there's nothing in our fruits and vegetables anyway. So why does that matter, right? These are the things going through my mind. So that's true. This is the worst diet out there because you don't get any nutrients. You don't have any nutrients. And that's why we've got the Keto 90, and that 90 is really the key, Paul. I mean, we add to the diet the 90 essential nutrients. And that right there is what makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah, it really does. It turns, a diet that doesn't have any nutrients into a diet that's got every nutrient you need. But keep in mind, even if you're following a diet that you think is getting you tons of nutrients because, I have 2 salads or 3 salads a day. So what? You're not getting any nutrients from that because there's no nutrients in the soil.
Right.
So that's huge misconception out there. Second, Cheryl, we're talking about, what else, what do you hear from women out there?
Well, the big thing I hear is high fat. I'm supposed to eat fat. Are you kidding me? I've lived my entire life low fat, and so you're thinking, oh my gosh, I don't think I'm going to be able to stomach high fat. It doesn't even, to me, it doesn't even sound right. I can't even get over this whole idea of, oh my gosh, I'm supposed to eat butter and I'm supposed to, eat all of these yummy things. That's crazy, right? But that's exactly what it is. But that is what this is all about. And Paul, wait, before you go into some of these things, I have to tell you a really funny story. So when I very first started, and I've done the keto program and it worked really well for me. But at first I was like, I just don't know about this. I just don't know if I should really, really jump on board. I was kind of just dipping a toe in the water. And it's so funny because I thought, well, you know what? I'll just do half of the diet, right? Who does half of the diet? So I decide I'm going to do just the high fat part. So I thought, well, listen, okay, I'm not going to stop any of the carbs or anything, but I definitely will eat the high fat because I had tasted the high fat and I loved it. And so there I was eating all the carbs I wanted and all the high fat I wanted. And let me tell you, Paul, if you want to gain a pound a day, then you just go ahead and do the keto plan, half the keto plan. So yeah, that didn't work well for me.
That is fantastic, Cheryl. This is a class about what exactly not to do. Okay. I didn't want to give up on my carbs, so I stuck with the carbs, but I did do the high fat part, and I gained a pound a day.
That's exactly right. That is exactly right. But this high fat is crazy because your body needs it, right?
Yeah. I get it. You think up front, oh, it's a high fat diet, and that's absolutely not 100% true. And it can sound in your mind, oh, that sounds disgusting, or I'm going to get sick from that or something. And the thought of putting butter and heavy cream in your coffee just sounds crazy. And trust me, I was the number one. When I first heard of this, I'm like, oh my gosh, now I've heard of everything. This is absolutely ridiculous. It's the stupidest thing ever. But I did try it and I was like, oh my gosh, this is the best tasting coffee I've ever had in my life. And I was so full from it that I didn't want to eat. My biggest problem was that I was hungry all the time.
See, that is such a big deal right there because that's what I found too, is that the high fat makes you full. And so you're eating less and you're full and you're not craving, which I think the 90 essential nutrients has a lot to do with those cravings too.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
But for the feeling full, then it has everything to do with that high fat.
Yeah, I could eat a bag of fat-free pretzels and I'm still hungry. I could eat another bag. You just never get that full feeling when you remove fat from your diet. That's why all these low-fat diets never worked. I mean, the average American gained like 10 or 15 pounds from following a low-fat diet. So that absolutely does not work because it doesn't make you full. But Cheryl, basically what we get is that your body has a choice. It can burn carbohydrates for energy because it needs energy. So you can burn carbohydrates for energy, or it can burn your own stored body fat for energy.
That's what I want to do. I want to burn everything that's been stored.
Yeah,
so,
sign me up for that.
Yeah, I think that is so great. And here's the other thing too, is that when you eat carbs, so let's go back for a second, but when you eat carbs, well, your insulin skyrockets.
Yeah,
right?
insulin. Insulin is a storage hormone.
Right.
And you start storing things as fat. So, the worst hormone to have in your body is insulin. Now, when insulin levels are high in your body from eating carbohydrates, growth hormone levels actually drop drastically. So those two hormones work opposite of each other. And those of you that know anything about growth hormone, you want that to be as high as possible. That's the hormone that goes into your body, grabs your stored body fat, and enables your body to use that for energy as opposed to using carbohydrates. So you want low insulin, you want high growth hormone levels in your body.
Oh my gosh, I love that. And here's I'm kind of old school, Paul, and I always thought, oh my gosh, well, what I really need to do is eat all protein. That's what I need to do. I just need to eat protein. But tell us a little bit about that and why that's not exactly good for you either.
Oh yeah, the old gym days. I remember those fondly. We, got to eat 250 grams of protein today because got to build some muscle.
Yeah, that's right.
Listen, so you don't need all that protein. You absolutely need some, like those amino acids are part of the 90 essential nutrients and your body cannot recover without them. So you absolutely need protein in your diet, but too much protein raises insulin levels too. So you can't go and what it does to your kidneys and all the bad things we found out about too much protein. That's not good either. So, too many carbs, that's a bad thing. Too much protein, that's a bad thing. But the funny thing about fat is fat does not turn to fat in your body. It can't unless there's insulin present. So we remove insulin, we can't store fat as fat. And, it really, again, does make you feel full. And, there's only 3 things that can make up your total calorie intake for the day. It's either carbohydrates, protein, or fat. So if you got low carb and then low to moderate protein, where are you going to get the rest of your calories from? There's only one thing left, which is fat. So yes, you have to make up the remainder of your calories in fat. People say, well, I'll just skip that. I don't want to eat that fat. Well, A, you're going to be hungry. B, you're going to be your body's going to go into starvation mode. Because we've all been on those diets where you eat, like the HCG diet or one of those diets where you're eating like 500 calories a day. And with the low calorie diet, now do those low calorie diets work?
No. And believe me, I have tried it. And I think everybody I know, every woman I know has tried some form of that before. Right. And so it's just, when you're taking away all the calories and really decreasing your calories, what happens is your body goes into that starvation mode, right? And then it shuts down and then nothing happens. I mean, Paul, I did lose weight when I did that, but the whole problem is that I gained it all back and it came back quickly, right? It wasn't like, oh, after a little while, but no, it really did. And then after a while, it just stopped working anymore.
Yeah. I mean, Cheryl, we both put like literally hundreds of people on that diet.
Yeah.
And every single person loses weight. I mean,
yes.
We can go on it today. We can lose 20 pounds in 20 days. And we're just like, woohoo, like we're feeling good. The problem is we're feeling good. We eat something bad and we gain that 20 back, and not just the 20, but another 5 or 10.
Yeah.
And that's what happens to every single person who does it, So, hey, if you want to go do it, fine, go do it. But I'm telling you right now, like I've been doing this for 25 years, helping people lose weight. I'm telling you, not like 99% or 99.5, 100% of the people gain the weight back when you go that. And when you go in a starvation state and your body, just starts holding on to everything and you just can't lose anything, no matter what you do, you can't lower your calories more. You're already at starvation state. So what do? I mean, there's nowhere to go, and you just gain the weight back, and you screwed up your body's metabolism. So it becomes harder to lose weight again in the future. I mean, it's just a really bad situation.
Absolutely. And the interesting thing, or one of the other things, Paul, that I've been hearing about a lot out there is that, you know what, I've tried the keto diet. I gave it my all, and it just does not work for me. I literally could not lose any weight. But let me tell you, if you're only doing half the keto diet, then we know the problem there. We've already talked a little bit about that. But tell us a little more about that, Paul.
Well, sure. People, they don't go all in. They're just like, well, like you said, I'm gonna raise my fat grams a little bit. I'm gonna lower my carbs a little bit from, like, I'm not gonna eat 100 grams of carbs a day. I'm only gonna eat 80. I mean, you're not really doing keto here, okay? So people are kind of like half doing it. They're not all in. And so that's a problem. The truth is, you're not going to lose as much weight on keto as you would these other lower calorie diets. We already talked about that. Instead of losing a pound or two a day, you're going to lose a pound or two a week. People are like, oh, this is too slow. Like, I'm not losing anything. Listen, if you lose, even if it's just a pound a week, there's 52 weeks in a year. You're going to lose 52 pounds this year. I mean, that's a fantastic year if you lost 52 pounds and kept it off.
Right.
But people don't look at it that way. They want everything like right now. But be happy with a pound a week, and if, just slow and steady always wins the race with dieting.
Yeah, I love that. I love slow and steady wins the race. And I think if you can start with that expectation, as we start, well, we already know, I mean, the new year's coming, the new decade's coming. So that is something that I definitely want to do and take part in a keto, in a keto diet, because and we can go into that a little bit more too, as far as how it makes you feel. But let's talk for a second about the importance of exercising. Woo!
Yeah. I mean, people say keto doesn't work, but you got to do it with exercise. Let's just be smart about that.
Yeah. Yep. Exercise, I think, is super, super important. And another thing that I hear a lot of people talk to me about is the keto flu. Can we talk for a minute about that?
Yeah. And so, just dovetailing off of the concept of exercise, what you want to do is, your body's so used to burning carbohydrates all the time. That's its primary fuel source for your whole life. So to transition into, I'm not going to use that energy source anymore, I'm going to use my stored body fat for energy, is a transition in your body. And you got to get your body through that threshold and over that line so that you actually are burning fat, your stored body fat, for energy, as opposed to using carbohydrates. So does exercise help that transition? Absolutely. So we have something called the Keto 90 Kickstart program that we're actually going to be talking about on our next show here coming up. And we'll go deep into that. But basically what we see, Cheryl, is a lot of people, they're kind of in that middle ground. They're not really burning carbs anymore because they've kind of given those up a little bit, but they're not really in ketosis yet. Like, you've got to get the ketone strips and check those things to make sure you're in ketosis. And we're going to teach you through the Keto 90 Kickstart program how to achieve that in 72 hours. It's going to take a real push to do that, but we'll help you through those first 72 hours to change your body's preferred fuel source. And, exercise is going to be a part of that, because we want to get that glycogen that's in your system out, and any stored carbs out of your body out, so that your body is forced to start using its own body fat for energy, because it's got no other choice.
Gosh, Paul, I love that. And something that I like about the keto program, and I'm not sure how many times I've been in keto in my life, maybe only a couple times, but let me tell you the way I felt. I mean, and we talk about the way we feel, right? I mean, it's so wonderful to look nice, right? But let me tell you, it is everything to feel healthy and strong and ready to get out there and really make it happen. And that's with anything in your families, all of these different things. And Paul, I know there's such a struggle sometimes during the holidays, because there's so many things to snack on and all of these things. So I'm just really gonna, I want to make that like one of my goals here in just the next little bit, even in the next few weeks, to really kind of, let's to dial it back a little bit, because we just the feeling of health and being strong and feeling great is really, that's what it's all about. I mean, I think that's the best gift that you can give yourself.
Oh, it is, Cheryl. And like you said, it's feeling good is what it's all about. I mean, we want to look good, of course, but I'm Superman on the Keto 90 program. I mean, I literally could run through a brick wall. When I have my proper ratioed meals, I feel amazing. Like I can just take on the world. But at the same time, if I have some carbohydrates, like, whatever it is, a cookie or whatever, I'm like, oh, we're at a party, we'll have some birthday cake or something. That's like literally my kryptonite. Like it'll put me to sleep in like 4 minutes.
Not only that, Paul, but another thing that you said that I thought was very interesting. And so I really paid attention to this, and I really found out that this is so true. Once you eat that carb, you automatically want more of whatever it is. Paul, yeah. And I think we don't even realize that, because we're kind of, some of us even are like, eating when we're not even paying attention. But I'm going to tell you something right now. That is crazy, because especially for me, once I have one carb, I'm like, oh, and then I'm in the cupboard. Oh,
it's like crack. Yeah.
Help, and it's the craziest thing, because I don't like to feel like that.
Yeah.
Right? I don't like to feel like I have something pulling me towards something I know I'm not supposed to eat. So it's crazy, because it really does happen.
It does. And, in a bad way.
Yeah.
Cheryl's like, I'm just going to have one nacho, Paul. I swear. Just one.
Oh, yeah. Listen, Cheryl's not going to have one nacho.
And it ends up being like one bag, right?
Yeah, she's not going to have one Oreo. She's not going to have any of that. Just one. So that means we have to have none. None. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, it's crazy how that happens. And I have to say, Paul, I probably am not the only person that happens to.
Yeah. And Cheryl, for me, and I know this happens for a lot of people too, if you do, go off and you have some carbs, you got to go get yourself back into ketosis now. And it's hard. You can take another 3 days to do it. So,
oh my gosh, I know.
It's really a mindset, Cheryl. This wasn't something like I just was like, oh, I'm going to go do the keto diet. Like it really took me a while. We always say to people that having optimal health is you're 6 inches away from having optimal health, or being the weight you want to weigh. And those 6 inches are between your 2 ears. It's getting your head right. So I had to get my head right. Like to not eat carbs was just like, what? There's just no way it's going to ever happen. I'm telling you, I eat pasta like it's my job. I love bagels. I mean, I like, everything I love is carbs. This is never going to happen. But now looking back at it, like I hate carbs now. Like I would never have a carbohydrate, because I have a completely different outlook on them. Like, I just like don't want them.
I am not.
You're not there yet?
No.
Do we need some more mindset training, Cheryl?
Oh my gosh, we do need some more mindset training. No, I'm not quite there yet, but I do like myself some butter.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, right? I mean, and here's the other thing too. I mean, I'm super excited about this whole Keto 90 Kickstart thing that we're doing. I'm really excited about that. And I think the number one reason why I'm so excited, and the people that I've really kind of talked to about this, is we're going to have a community, Paul. I mean, we're going to talk about and support and help. And not only that, but we are going to do it with these people, right? That's what I'm excited about. I mean, I can hardly wait. I'm going to be like rocking it. I'm serious. I'm not even kidding you.
Oh yeah. I'm super, super excited about all this and helping everybody. So go to keto90kickstart.com. Check it out. All the information's there on the Kickstart program if you're interested in that. We also have a Facebook group, as Cheryl just mentioned. It's a support group to help you through all this. We'll help answer all your questions and get you rocking. Just go to Facebook and just type in Keto 90 Kickstart and get joined, and we'll approve you into that group. So any final words, Cheryl, you want to mention?
No, I'm just excited for everybody to come together as a community and really support each other, help each other, and like you said, answer those questions, get through and pass those roadblocks that all of us might have. And let's all have like the best ever first 3 months, right? Because we really want to I'm all into this 90 hours, 90 days. And it's really such a great place to start. And I'm super excited to do that with everybody. And I just really want to tell you, you guys, if you've ever wanted to do this before, if you've tried it and you have failed or you haven't done as well as you want to, join us, because we can really be there for you. We can help you. We can support you. We can cheer you on. We will do all of those things. And Paul, I'm just excited to do this with all of our friends and new friends that we're going to meet doing this.
Keto
Yes.
Christmas.
Oh, Keto Christmas.
Yep. And if you follow this program, you're going to look just as good as Cheryl and Angelica does.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, Paul, thank you.
All right, everybody. Thanks for coming to the Optimal Health Show. My name is Paul Croto. I'm here with Cheryl Morley, and we will see you next Tuesday on our show. Bye for now.
Bye.